On this Friday night, the race to rescue survivors in Venezuela. The death toll climbs after 2 devastating earthquakes. How Canadians are responding.
We are living in Canada, but my heart is with Venezuela now.
Fueling frustration.
$1.68 now, yeah. So we filled up yesterday when it was still low.
What the ceasefire in Iran means for gas prices and airfare in Canada. Saving 24 Sussex.
It has not been cared for with the respect that it deserves.
The Prime Minister's plan to restore the official residence after years of decay. Plus, World Cup pride. The celebrations and controversy as a soccer match spotlights LGBTQ2+ rights.
Global National. Reporting tonight, Jeff Semple.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin again tonight in Venezuela with the scramble to find survivors after 2 powerful earthquakes struck seconds apart on Wednesday. Take a look at this. Rescue crews carefully pulling this woman from the rubble of a collapsed building, one of the lucky ones. The devastating 7.2 and then 7.5 quakes killed nearly 1,000 people. 3,000 others are injured, and officials fear the death toll could rise dramatically, with 50,000 people still unaccounted for. And this is what they're up against. Satellite images reveal extensive damage to residential buildings and infrastructure. Residents are now pleading for heavy equipment to move mountains of debris. Jackson Proskow begins our coverage tonight.
The work is slow and dangerous. Rescuers pick through the rubble, often with their bare hands, looking for survivors. It's a desperate race against time. We never lose hope, he says. There might be a victim lying there, unconscious but still alive. Moments like these keep the searchers going. A woman pulled alive from the rubble. Through the night, more small miracles played out live on Venezuelan TV, including this trapped dog. Desperate for water, it was eventually saved. More horrifying images have emerged from the moment of disaster. These passengers rode out the twin earthquakes on board an aircraft on the tarmac as people fled the airport. As the scale of the tragedy comes into focus, Venezuelans are realizing all they've lost. Here, 2 young girls were killed as their house collapsed. We weren't able to rescue them, she says.
We will run out of supplies in a few days. Access are compromised to the country.
Aid agencies like Project Hope say time and supplies are running short.
The healthcare facilities are full with patients, full with people that need to receive attention.
A massive international response is now underway. Rescue workers, search teams, and specialized equipment are en route. They will arrive to find a nation decimated and desperate for help. Jackson Proskow, Global News, Washington.
Global Affairs Canada is denying reports that the government is planning to reopen its embassies in Venezuela as well as Iran. The Prime Minister said yesterday that the lack of an active embassy hampers Canada's efforts to respond to emergencies like these earthquakes. But Canada is looking to expand its humanitarian support.
And I'm working with my officials to contact Canadians in Venezuela to support them as needed. We are also working closely with our embassy in Colombia to ensure that humanitarian support is distributed.
Ordinary Canadians are also mobilizing to send help to hard-hit areas as quickly as possible. As Phil Carpenter reports, they're appealing to the public for help.
Wanna be okay.
Though members of Montreal's Venezuelan diaspora are in the city physically, their hearts and minds are thousands of kilometers away in their home country.
We lost some friends. The whole building collapsed, and then we lost the full family. Husband, wife, kids, mother and daughter.
Some people in Montreal with family in the country are having trouble reaching loved ones. The people they are able to contact say the situation is desperate.
People are on their building trying to find their family with their hands. They don't have water, they don't have nothing, they don't have light.
It's why those in this city and across Canada are marshalling forces to send aid as quickly as possible to the hardest hit areas.
Essential supplies, food, water, baby formula.
They're also asking for flashlights, batteries, even tents for temporary shelters.
People like me are trying to send just money for in case my family is preparing food to bring to the areas where the people is affecting. So because nobody has any place to cook.
A search and rescue team from Burnaby, BC, comprising firefighters, paramedics and police officers, left Friday for Venezuela.
Much like any disaster, time is our number one enemy. So we're taking 6 members, 2 canines, and 4 of our light team members as well.
The way people have mobilized to help has moved Venezuelans in this country, who say the hardest part of this is being here and not being able to do much.
We are living in Canada, but my heart is with Venezuela now. It's very difficult what happened.
They say it's why coming together for mutual support is important now more than ever. Phil Carpenter, Global News, Montreal.
And turning to breaking news now, for the first time since last week's ceasefire agreement, the U.S. has launched a strike on Iran. It comes one day after an Iranian drone strike that reportedly hit a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. In a social media post, Donald Trump called that Iranian attack a foolish violation of the ceasefire agreement. That strike paused UN efforts to evacuate hundreds of ships that have been stranded in the region for months due to the war. Despite these setbacks, ships are finally moving through that critical waterway, sending global oil prices down close to pre-conflict levels, with West Texas Intermediate trading below $70 a barrel. With oil prices dropping, will gas prices and airfare follow suit? Heather Yourex-West on what to expect for the summer travel season.
The Friday before a big summer holiday, and prices have jumped at the pumps.
$1.68 now, yeah. So we filled up yesterday when it was still low. So my tank's full. I just came to get windshield washer fluid.
It is pretty expensive. Right, this car takes high tests, so it gets pretty expensive.
In Calgary, the price of gas rose more than 10 cents overnight, even as the price of crude nears levels not seen since February.
We are going to see prices on average in Canada remain 15 to 20 cents a litre higher than usual as the world tries to, as it were, restock. The inventories have been badly depleted during the past 115, 120 days of this war.
Low global supply coupled with an increase in summer demand will see prices bounce around through the summer months, but a return to pre-conflict level prices, that could take months, provided shipping through the Strait of Hormuz can in fact fully resume. In the skies, some Canadian airlines have started scaling back additional fuel surcharges, but the savings are limited for now.
We've seen a very selective relief. Porter Airlines cut their reward surcharge in half from $40 to $20. WestJet reduced their fee for companion fares.
Analysts don't expect airfares to fall to pre-conflict levels anytime soon, and that's because over the last few months, as the price of flights rose, people continue to fly.
We are paying $3,000 to go to India, where it used to be $1,800 at one time.
I always travel in the summer because I'm a teacher, and it's just nothing's going to stop me from getting away.
The U.S. and Israeli war in Iran promising to keep costing consumers more for months to come, even as the global oil supply begins to rebound. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, Calgary.
President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, has pleaded guilty to mishandling sensitive government information. Bolton worked for Trump during his first term and later became a vocal critic of the president. Last year, Bolton was charged with 18 counts related to government documents that Bolton was accused of using for his memoirs. Those notes were then stolen from his email by foreign hackers. As part of the guilty plea, prosecutors are recommending he be sentenced to no more than 5 years in prison. 24 Sussex Drive in Ottawa has been the official home of the Prime Minister since 1951, but the 35-room mansion has been vacant for more than a decade after it was deemed uninhabitable. Today, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced plans to restore the property with a competition to select a firm to return the residence to its former glory. Our David Akin has more.
For more than 70 years, 24 Sussex Drive was the dignified official residence of Canada's prime ministers, where PMs hosted premiers and PMs hosted guests. But now it's a dump. After Stephen Harper moved out in 2015, the rats and the mice moved in. And while some have called for the 158-year-old mansion to be demolished, Prime Minister Mark Carney is taking a different route: restoration.
It's a symbol of the public office of the head of our federal government and of the democratic traditions that office represents. And yet, it has not been cared for with the respect that it deserves.
A design and build competition will get underway, led by world-renowned Canadian architect Moishe Safdie.
It's an extraordinary site with extraordinary potential. I think something wonderful can be developed here.
Taxpayers will cover some costs, but a charity has been set up to solicit donations to cover most of the bill. And Carney promises he will never live there. Like Justin Trudeau before him, Carney lives at Rideau Cottage on the grounds of Rideau Hall. And Carney says his plan has the support of Harper, Jean Chrétien, Joe Clark, Kim Campbell, and Mila Mulrooney.
Future prime ministers will undoubtedly need to raise their children here as they lead our country. So we'll restore it so they may do so safely and securely.
But the current Conservative leader is unenthused.
I just think the last thing on our minds should be 24 Sussex Drive.
Now, while the PM would not give us a budget for this home reno project, it will not be cheap. Back in 2008, the Auditor General of the day said the cost to fix this place up was $10 million. By 2021, that estimate had risen to $37 million. And now the latest estimate to make this place shipshape for a PM and their family, think north of $100 million. Jeff.
All right, David Akin in Ottawa. Thanks, David. And King Charles is moving out of Buckingham Palace. The royal residence has been home to the reigning monarch for nearly 2 centuries. It's currently undergoing a $690 million renovation, which is set to be completed next year. But instead of moving back in after the renos, the King and Queen will continue to live at nearby Clarence House. Royal officials say His Majesty will still work out of the palace, and it will remain the ceremonial and operational center of the monarchy. Canada's most wanted fugitive found. Coming up, how authorities caught a Quebec man linked to a bloody drug war after years on the run.
No. Go away.
We'll talk about a close encounter. An Alberta woman walking her dog came this close to a grizzly bear.
Hey. No! No! Hey! Hey! Stop it! Stop! Stop! Enough!
It happened at a wilderness camp in Alberta's Kananaskis country on Wednesday. The woman had just stepped outside with her morning coffee when the bear appeared, and as you can see, it circled her several times. She tried throwing her coffee mug as others arrived and yelled at the bear. It eventually left the area, and no one was hurt. Canada's most wanted fugitive is now in police custody tonight. Quebec provincial police say Al Boivin has been located in southern Spain after years on the run. The 36-year-old is accused of leading a bloody drug war that fueled years of violence in Quebec. Our Mike Armstrong is following those developments for us. Mike.
Well, Jeff, Al Boivin has been on the run for more than 3 years. There were some close calls. Police just missed arresting him in Montreal at one point by minutes. Well, it appears he was somehow able to get to Europe. Boivin is wanted on a long list of charges, among them gangsterism, aggravated assault, drug trafficking, and kidnapping. He's been on Canada's most wanted list since 2024 and took over the top spot this past March. Well, Quebec provincial police aren't saying much about how it happened, but they are confirming Boivin was apprehended Friday in Spain. He was in the coastal city of Marbella. Now, investigators believe Boivin led a network of drug dealers in eastern Quebec and went head-to-head with the Hells Angels. To sell drugs anywhere in the province, dealers are supposed to give the Hells a 10% cut. It's like a tax paid to operate on their territory. Boivin's group and another gang in Quebec City, the Blood Family Mafia, pushed back. They went to war with the Hells Angels using arson, beatings, kidnapping, and torture, even cutting off fingers, ears, and toes to terrorize. Violence inspired by Mexican drug cartels. The suspected leader of the Blood Family Mafia was at one point Canada's most wanted fugitive. Dave Pixomel was arrested outside Rome in March of 2025. He's been fighting extradition ever since. Provincial police say they hope to speak to Boivin in the coming days. and to begin the extradition process for him as well. Jeff?
Mike Armstrong in Montreal. Thank you, Mike. FIFA Pride coming up. Why rainbow flags will be flying inside the World Cup match between Iran and Egypt. This is Pride Month, and tonight the World Cup will host a special display of support. Rainbow flags will be flying as Seattle hosts a Pride match. FIFA is on board, but the teams involved are not. Iran and Egypt are two of the most oppressive countries in the world when it comes to LGBTQ2+ rights. Eric Sorensen reports on the fight over flags.
Look at the sea of Iraqi supporters and flags in Toronto. One of the joys of the World Cup is the opportunity, especially for small countries, to share the global spotlight, celebrate national pride. And of course, Côte d'Ivoire's win Thursday was described as a piece of World Cup history. And Ecuador's surprise win over Germany was called important for the nation. Or tiny Cape Verde trying to keep the most improbable dream alive in their match Friday night.
No expectations, just hopes and pride.
Hope and pride, symbolized by national flags, countries not often heard from, like Cape Verde, like Curacao, like Bosnia and Herzegovina. And then there is this flag that will fly in Seattle. For many, a flag that, as much as any flag, will carry meaning and pride. It is Pride Month, and Seattle had always intended to make the LGBTQ2+ presence visible at this World Cup.
We're excited to lift that up. We're excited to welcome soccer fans here.
It's not a FIFA event, but fans can bring pride flags because FIFA permits symbols that support human rights. It just so happens Iran and Egypt, the two countries playing the match, are not pleased. Iran's Football Federation issued a statement that no ceremonies or promotional activities associated with this movement, as they put it, should be present inside the state. For Seattle organizers, there is an exquisite irony that multiple countries that persecute members of their LGBTQ communities cannot help but broadcast a World Cup match where fans will celebrate those communities.
This is our moment to allow the members of the LGBTQ community that come from those countries the opportunity to celebrate themselves in totality that they might not have otherwise.
It remains to be seen what the broadcast will show, or what, if anything, some countries might try to censor. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
An historic night for the Toronto Tempo's Marina Mabrey. She scored a record-tying 53 points in a win over LA last night, and she also matched her own WNBA record of 9 three-pointers in the game. Standing tall for half a century, still ahead, how the CN Tower is hitting new heights. Welcome back. 2 beloved Canadians are among those being recognized for their service to this country. Soccer legend Christine Sinclair and acclaimed actor Michael J. Fox are being promoted to Companions of the Order of Canada, this country's highest civilian honor. Sinclair was honored for her advancement of women's sport, and Fox for his global advocacy in raising awareness about Parkinson's disease. 50 years ago today, what was then the world's tallest freestanding structure opened to the public. Back in 1976, the CN Tower was an architectural marvel. And half a century later, it continues to turn heads. Nearly 2 million people visit the CN Tower each year, and many stop by today for the milestone festivities. Nicole DiDonato on the tower that's much more than a landmark.
On June 26, 1976, the CN Tower opened to the public. It has been an iconic part of Toronto's skyline ever since.
It's impossible to imagine Toronto without the CN Tower.
This woman has visited the CN Tower 28 times over the last 50 years.
I came down, the first time was 1986, and I kept diaries.
On Friday, staff gave away 553 birthday cupcakes, one for every meter of the tower's height.
Give you the very good view of the city, and it's a really good icon.
Construction on the CN Tower began in 1973.
In the 60s, buildings in Toronto were getting taller and taller. Broadcast signals couldn't reach people, so radio and television, and they needed a way to do that. So they built this as an antenna.
More than 1,500 workers poured concrete around the clock Monday to Friday at a rate of about 15 to 16 feet a day.
So on the weekends, the concrete cured just a little bit differently and creates these horizontal lines. And so when you look at the tower, you can see it. It's almost like, the rings of a tree.
A giant helicopter named Olga put on the finishing touch, the antenna, making the CN Tower the tallest freestanding structure in the world. It would hold that title until 2009, when it was surpassed by Dubai's Burj Khalifa. The CN Tower wasn't just built for function, it was also made for tourists. It has 6 high-speed elevators to take visitors up to the main observation level in less than a minute, moving at 22 kilometers per hour. And you can enjoy the view on the way up.
Yeah, it all had to be thought through, and then of course there's practical things like
WZMH Architects was one of the firms that helped design the tower's main pod.
It's something that's embedded in the collective memory of Torontonians and Canadians. We all have touched it, have visited it, have been up there.
The CN Tower has seen many changes over its 50 years. A glass floor, an edge walk, a revolving restaurant, and more. So what's possible in the next 50? The sky's the limit. Nicole DiDonato, Global News.
And to mark the occasion, the Royal Canadian Mint is releasing a commemorative coin. The toonie is designed by a Canadian illustrator and shows the Toronto skyline, past, present, and at night. Yes, the toonie actually glows in the dark. It's only the second commemorative coin to do that, and it's in circulation right now. That is Global National for this Friday. I'm Jeff Semple. Tonight's Your Canada is Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Have a great night.